Hey you guys, it's Stef and thank you so much for coming back to my channel once again, Stef's Peru Travel Tips. Today is Sunday, February 14th, 2016, which makes it Valentine's Day, and I wanted to wish all of you a happy Valentine's Day. I hope that you're having a great time with your friends and family if you choose to celebrate today. And if you don't celebrate today like me, because I'm a bit of a Grinch when it comes to holidays and birthdays, it's not really my thing, but I hope that you're having a lovely day as well. So I wanted to make this video originally about credit cards and whether or not you should use debit cards or credit cards in Peru, but the other day I was walking around downtown Lima in search of some food items, and so I decided that I would take advantage of the situation and just record little bits and pieces of what a typical market in Peru is like to show you guys a little bit of that, because there was a lot of interest in the video that I shared with you about my trip to my family's house in Villa Maria del Triunfo, because that was a very an authentic Peruvian experience, and so I wanted to show you guys what a typical market is like. So the images that you're going to see is from El Mercado de Surquillo. I think it's number one, I think, because there's two markets in Surquillo, and Surquillo is a district in Peru, in Lima, remember. Market in Spanish is mercado. If you want to say supermarket, you say supermercado. Some supermarket chains here are Wong, Vivanda, Plaza Vea, and Metro. And believe it or not, local outdoor mercados are very popular today still. They are very different depending on which ones you go to, different districts and stuff. Each mercado is unique, but for the most part, you generally find in mercados definitely your meats. You'll see seafood, chicken, you'll find plasticware, glassware, clothes being sold. You'll find what's it called? Seamstresses, or what's the other one in English for the male? I can't remember now. But the guy, the guy that fixes your clothes if it's too tight or too loose or whatever. You'll find jewelry, fruit, snacks like peanuts or raisins or whatever. And you know, every mercado has a section that has food being prepared and sold. So you can always get the local menu, which is the meal of the day, and for, I don't know, between 6 to 8 soles usually. And it's just very interesting to go to a mercado. I think it's definitely one of the things you have to do if you come to Peru. You definitely have to go explore a mercado and see that for yourself. It might be a bit of a shock if you're not used to that kind of thing. If you haven't traveled much because you're an inexperienced traveler, but you definitely should go and check it out and definitely have a meal there, because it's part of the experience. It's how we live life, and I think that when we travel, we're really supposed to immerse ourselves in the culture there and really get a feel for it and try to see that country through a native's eyes. And part of our common everyday life is people go a lot to mercados to do their shopping, to eat there. So if you feel comfortable with eating there, definitely go for it. Some people might not feel so comfortable because it's sometimes not sanitary in mercados, but it's definitely, I think, part of the experience. Like I said, all mercados are different from one another. They generally have the same things, but the way it's organized, the cleanliness of the place can vary greatly from one place to the next. So if you happen to have a bad experience in one mercado, if it just looks really gross or whatever, then I don't want you to think that all mercados are like that, because they're not. It's just that some are like that, unfortunately. And the really interesting thing about going to mercados is that you form relationships with the people that you buy your produce from. And I think I don't think mercados are going to disappear anytime soon, because Peruvians love talking, but people just like starting conversations here for no reason. And so I think part of what makes mercados so special is that you form relationships with the people that you buy your food from, and it gives you someone to talk to, and that's what Peruvians enjoy doing. So when you constantly or regularly buy produce from someone or anything from someone in a mercado, that person becomes your casero, is how we say it here in Peru. So for example, my fruit lady, she's my casera de frutas. I always buy fruit from her. Or my vegetable lady. She's my casera de verduras. And so when she wants to refer to me, a client that regularly buys from her or him, then I'm also her or his casera. And so we call each other casero or casera. You'll hear that a lot when you go to local markets. Or like as you're walking by, you know, they'll be like, oh, casera, casero, you know, what do you want? What are you looking for? I have it here, and this and that. And they want to make you a regular client. They want to establish that relationship with you because it also ensures that, you know, you're always going to be loyal to them. So I really think that that is interesting. And because my casera de frutas, she always gives me like extra fruit for free, or like even sometimes when I don't buy fruit from her, but I just stop by because I'm passing by and I say hello to her, she'll give me something free or whatever, and we'll chat for a bit. And I think that's very lovely. It's kind of like making all these extra friends in a way, and I enjoy that. So that's something interesting about mercados. Little Spanish lesson here: casera is used to refer to females and casero to the males. So just to let you know there, don't call a man casera, call him casero. And going back to what I said earlier about the organization within a mercado, some mercados are just like totally like, I don't know, disorganized. Like you'll have the meat next to the fruit, next to, I don't know, the clothes or the jewelry. Like some mercados, they just really don't have that structure, and others do have some kind of structure, you know, where the meat section is in one area of the mercado, and then the clothes, and then everything is separate. So unfortunately for me, when I have to go into a mercado that lacks that structure, and there's the meat section, which I try to avoid next to my fruit, I have to kind of hold my breath, or as I go through, I'm like, okay, don't breathe, get out of here, fast. And that's what happens to me, at least. But that's something interesting, is that like the meat can just be hanging off of the steak or the thing or whatever right next to the fruit. And that might also be something really like strong for some of you that are not used to seeing like chickens or pigs or chunks of meat, whatever, hanging off of like these skewer type things, because it just, that's what they do here, is they hang it off of these things, or they'll have the meat flat out on the table ready to cut. Or sometimes you might even find like live animals still, like at least chickens especially, you'll have live chickens there, and if they don't have any like already dead chickens that they've taken the feathers off of and everything right away, then they'll just get a live chicken, they'll, you know, chop its head off, take off all of its feathers, put it in warm water or hot water or whatever. I don't know what the process is, I don't remember exactly anymore, but they'll do all of that right there in the moment and give you fresh meat. And that might be kind of strong or too much for some people if you're not used to that, but that is all part of the experience in a mercado. Another great thing about mercados is that you have the ability to negotiate prices or haggle. So if you buy a lot of something, then you can always try to lower the price a bit, or especially like I said, if you have your casero, if you're living here in Peru and you regularly buy from someone, they always cut you a special discount. And obviously you're not going to be able to get that at the supermarket, only when they have like special sales going on. What really shocked me about mercados initially was, aside from seeing chickens get killed live for the first time, is that how the meat just hangs out there with all of that humidity, flies hanging around, and actually like getting on some of this meat and stuff. That really like shocked me, because I had, you know, been raised in the US. I was used to all of this cleanliness, and then I see all of this and I'm like, oh my god, how can you eat this food? And at the first couple of months that I arrived, that I lived here, I was staying with my aunt and uncle, and my aunt goes to the mercado a lot, and that's where she would get a lot of her meats. And so I had been eating her food, and I was just thinking afterwards, like after I had experienced a mercado for myself, like, oh my god, I've been eating meat like this, you know, that's been in these kinds of conditions. But then I thought, okay, I'm still alive, so I guess it's okay. And I have plenty of other gross stories about that kind of stuff in mercados, but I'll address that in some other video. So you know, that's how it is. And actually, now that I think about it years later, because I am very health conscious and I always try to feed my body like really great foods and take care of myself. Now I'm a health coach and I'm starting my business, and I'm like antibiotics on the food and all this other crap that they generally just put on meats, especially in the US. I'm like, you know what, actually the way that people get meat at the mercados, like that's probably one of the best ways, you know, because that's like one step less, I guess, kind of like processed in a way, because they don't, you know, lather it up with things to make it look extra red and nice, or to keep it from rotting even faster or whatever. Like the meat that you get there is fresh from that day. Yeah, okay, there might be some flies on it, whatever. Just wash it off. It'll be okay. You'll survive. You'll be fine. So I actually think it's kind of good to actually, if you're gonna eat meat, get your meat from a mercado rather than a supermercado, at least in my opinion, that is. So anyway, guys, before I forget, one last interesting thing about mercados is, I don't know if this is true for all mercados, but at least the mercado right here by my house that I go to regularly, where I have my caseras, they have these kind of like raffles at the end of the year for Christmas especially, to give away like free turkeys or panetones, which is this bread thing that we eat at Christmas. And so like when you go and buy from them, they give you these special tickets, and then on the day of, they have like a kind of drawing, and if you have the winning ticket, then you get to take home some free food or whatever. And I think that that's really interesting about local mercados as well. That is it for this video. I really hope that you have enjoyed what I had to share with you today, and that you are open to experiencing a mercado for yourself. If you don't like meat, avoid the meat section if you can. And yeah, if you liked this video, if you found it interesting, learned something new about Peruvian culture, definitely give it a thumbs up or a like. If you would like to share this video with your friends and family, definitely share the video with them. If you want to follow me on social media, go ahead and follow me on, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And if you want to see more videos like this, then definitely subscribe to my channel. So thank you so much everyone for your time once again. Happy Valentine's Day to you all, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.